in and is going to be the MC of this year's fashion show.
So I've been told.
I hope you said yes.
The negotiations are coming down to the wire, but we're looking probable.
Wow, had I known it was so shaky, Well, I hope this helps convince you.
It really boils down to the finances in this town, which I hope we'll be swinging around to at some point, because I have some bullet points, Rhonda.
Okay, well,
if you will.
We,
Can I call you
this
Rhonda?
is pretty, Rana, yeah, you can call me, but, this conversation can be pretty free-spirited. We don't have a script. And my second guest from the Hygienic is Sarah McKay, who's the director.
Hello.
And she's the one you see if you walk in very often. And my third guest is Stephen Laflamme, who is organizing this year's Rock House, which I don't know, how many years has the Rock House been going on? Close to 10 by now?
Yeah, it's been going on for quite a while. It's my first year coordinating it, but it's an established thing.
So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on the Hygienic in general, and then start talking about some of the specific things that people can expect over the next couple weeks. So, Sarah, I guess, how did you get involved with the Hygienic?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's been a few years. So I was in the Hartford area directly before I was down in New London, and there were so many great artistic opportunities and events that were very different and off the radar. So we would travel down to New London just to be part of that, and it was always Hygienic that was the draw for me. And it was also the community down there and the characters and just the passion that everybody has for the arts. So eventually I started commuting from Hartford as gallery assistant down there. So did that a few years while I was working another job.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a few years that I've been involved, and then I volunteered and I was a curator for different things. And then it's been a little bit over 2 years that I've been director there. And it's a wild ride, as you said before.
Now, how have things changed over the last couple of years that you've been here?
That is a great question.
How have things changed? So we have increased our programming to include things like Hyde Harbor, which actually Stephen is the coordinator of. So we wanted to have more music during the winter months and more things going on downtown. So we open up this free program once a month to showcase emerging musicians in the area. So that's one of the new programs that we've done, and we've had a lot of positive feedback for that. We've also brought more family events. So we have Artist Academy Junior. We participated in the Connecticut Family Fest. And we've just been trying to outreach and collaborate with other organizations. So we have partners in the community. So we've got Spark Makerspace, we have the Visual Arts Library, we have the Harris Place. We also have the Choral Lab as our partners. And basically it's finding people who have a common goal and working together to make it happen. So we've seen, we do over 100 events per year with a very limited staff, and it's all volunteer and people like Dame and Stephen who actually, make this stuff happen. These are the people right here.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for you to get to the point where I was able to take most of the credit for this.
That was what I was trying to do. Did you see how I did that?
Yeah,
there?
it was long-winded, but you
But
got
now
there.
you just brought
Yes.
it up.
You did
Now
get
you
there.
pointed it out. So
Now it's just
a little
addressing the
Yeah.
elephant in the room.
So how did
We've
you
had
get
some
started?
We've had some here
No,
today.
at the Hygienic.
At the Hygienic, just really humble beginnings. I was a janitor there for a while, and
We've never had a janitor.
yeah,
In his
they told me
dreams.
that so many times.
He's like,
I
but
kept
I'm
showing
here.
up. I kept showing up. I powered through. I never stopped believing, Rhonda. I never stopped believing. That was key initially. And there would be like some paintings on the wall sometimes, really intricate paintings, half done, and I would just finish them. And that seemed to get everybody pretty much going. It was a big mystery as to who was doing that. It was me. And
Instead of kicking you out. They
They just brought
promoted
me.
you,
They
right?
brought me in. They nursed my efforts and my talents for finishing paintings and such. And
You had to throw that nursing word in, didn't you?
nursing. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good.
I'm a bit of a rescue, as you might have recognized. Do you have pets?
I do.
What do
I
you
have
got?
cats.
Just cats?
Cats, but they're all kind of rescue cats.
They're all is an interesting word to say because both is even weird, but all. How many cats? Are we?
3.
Okay.
One of them, showed up on our back deck, and the first time we saw her, she was teeny, and she was with her mom and brother, and
We gotta go to
then her
commercial.
mom
We gotta-
disappeared, and then her brother was
Choky
found
cats.
kind of squished on Ocean Avenue, and
Oh my God.
we thought, I know, well, it is, it's horrible. So the third cat in the family, we decided to capture and bring inside, and it was not easy to capture her because she was not very sociable, but she's now 13 years old, and then we had one that we rescued from Riverside Park, where there's a whole colony. And then the last one, I don't know, he just like walked into our house one day, and he was scrawny and
That
hungry
is
and
crazy.
pathetic. And so we
That's
have
crazy.
3. So we didn't actually choose any of them. They all kind of chose us. So maybe that happened with you in the Hygienic, huh?
Yeah, kind of like that. A little something like that. Here,
Yeah.
you have a little bit of the vodka. You're a
Oh,
little
yeah.
tense. You're a little tense.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, but I just liked everything that was going on Hygienic. I'm usually on the other side of the street, downtown drunk, just walking around, and this place is closed at the hours that I get downtown. And it's really nice to just see what it looks like on the inside. It's
The
pretty tight.
Hygienic is a great place to hang out, huh?
Yeah, pretty tight.
So, so you have a role in the upcoming Hygienic Fest, which will probably surprise no one that you're like an MC and a comedian.
I'll do a little bit of the jokes, a little bit of the LOLs. But
It doesn't stop.
my real passion is philanthropy, though, honestly.
I'm glad to hear that.
That is
Giving
good.
back.
You are giving back a
No,
lot.
1,000%. I like to walk into I won't walk into any room that I can't make a little bit better, even if it's just by making one person inside that room smile. And I also consider myself, no one else will agree to this, but I also consider myself a little bit of an artist as well, a performing artist. And at my level, I'll play any gallery that'll have me.
And it seems like, actually, even from the very humble beginnings of the Hygienic in the late 1970s, performance art, in a way, was always kind of a part of
I
the
remember.
scene.
I remember.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
Jim Stidful, like my favorite quote. You know Jim?
I do not.
He's one of the founders. He's on the board.
You see him walking around, a lot of white hair.
You've seen. So he always was saying half of the art is on the wall and half of the art is walking around inside the gallery. And I think that's what makes Hygienic so special. Is
That's
that
absolutely ridiculous.
You don't have to be an artist that makes. The art and creativity can be whatever you think it is, and it's just all okay.
How do you guys pay the bills with that type of attitude down there?
Supporters like you.
And actually, we can talk about how different ways people can do supporting, because if you go into the website, there are a lot of ways people can volunteer and like
What is
do
the website?
work.
Hygienic.org. That is a good point. Hygienic, HYGIENIC.org, because most people spell it incorrectly.
I gotta get that on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that on the camera.
And some of the really
Put it on the
old-time
poster.
New Londoners, of course, remember the old diner that was in that
Right.
location, whose reputation was anything but hygienic.
Exactly, and that's still how it is, even through the art and the content that we have and the performances that we have. And you have to have a little bit of thick skin when you come to most of our events. They are uncensored, they are unjuried.
The last time I showed up, I'm a pretty hard guy to startle. You might have gotten that by the fact that I'm not wearing pants during this entire interview. But
Thank God we have
That's-
a table.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
that's
have a
neither here nor there.
table
That's neither here
for
nor there. The table's neither here nor there. All right, everyone's eyes that we're adults. Yeah, I went into this place, the Hygienic, and on a whim, they asked me to just host the naked
Canvas.
the Naked Canvas
Oh, yeah.
Festival,
Body
which we're
painting.
bringing back. We're bringing back this year as
Yeah.
well. Everyone was naked. It was literally just paints on tits, the entire place.
Yeah.
It was scary in there. I'm in a committed relationship, lady. I can't take that type of. For the arts, I did it for the arts.
Yeah.
You gotta be tough. You gotta be tough.
Now,
So, yeah.
now, music is one of the more recent additions to the Hygienic, I think. So how's that been evolving, Steve?
I mean, I only started getting involved with music about a couple months ago with the Hyde Harbor program that Sarah mentioned before. It's a local thing. I help find bands from the community. They're up and coming, and they play at the Hygienic, and then they also get to play in Sailfest, which obviously is a very big event, big deal in the community,
Right.
in the summer. So, I mean, I was fortunate enough to find some really good talent for this fall season, like Driving Route 9 was in it, Fat Astronaut, Fleet, and I'm spacing on the last band right now, Sarah Golly. All really talented. 3 of them are actually going to be playing at the Rock House this weekend.
So tell us about the Rock House. And we probably do have a poster somewhere in
I
our,
was
in
holding
our
on to it.
staff.
And my fear of forgetting the bands that I actually, brought into the event, 'cause I tend to do that sometimes. But three of the bands are actually from Hyde Harbor because they were so talented that, oh, here we go. There you go. Okay.
Very nice.
More or less. It's kind of crooked.
So this year, what's different about the Rock House is, so we would have all of the artists come on Saturday, January 27th, to the gallery. They drop off their artwork between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. The show doesn't open in the gallery until 7 p.m. So this year, we finally smartened up a little bit, and the Crocker House will be open right at 6. So people have a place to go. There's going to be a happy hour. There's going to be performances that are, so the doors are open at 6 p.m. to the Crocker House, and then the lineup starts at 7. So that way artists aren't waiting around in the streets in the cold for an hour before the gallery
It's going to be it's a good lineup.
Yeah, and it
I'm really
allows
happy
people to
about
walk
it.
back and forth between the Crocker House and the gallery, and then they can go to the new Choral Lab gallery with our new event that we have over there. But yeah, the Rock House, I think, is a really good way to show. I think it's not. I wouldn't say local, because to me local means specifically New London, but I'd
Yeah.
say it's regional talent.
Because, we have Fat Astronaut.
Everyone
They're
is
from
half
New
an hour
Haven.
away.
Yeah, and
They come-
Driving Route 9, they're from East Haddam. But, they're all really talented bands.
And it's kind of a mix of kind of established people. Like
Oh yeah,
Sue
that
Menhardt's
was
been
our
around
thought
for a
process
long
when we're trying to
time.
find bands. That's why Lama Tsunami and that's why No Man and the Sue
Right.
Menhart bands in there. They're more established, so it's not like we're not completely polarizing this year. But we did want to shake up the lineup with some more interesting talent that maybe hasn't been heard about before. Because just because you haven't been heard about doesn't mean that you're not stinking talented.
It
Especially
seems a
Driving Route
little,
9.
fame seems kind of random, actually.
Right.
It's not directly
You know what
related
fame
to
is? Chris Tucker told me
talent.
this. Chris Tucker told me this. Fame is when everybody that told you that they'll never forget about you suddenly remembers you. Chris Tucker. He's a-
And he would know.
he was in the movie Fifth Element with Bruce Willis. I was about to say, so he knows.
He knows. He's
Bruce
been
Willis.
down and up both. And I wanted to tell people you're free to call in if you want.
I was literally about to post
We-
on my social media, but I also want to say I have a bunch of madmen on my social media, so anything can happen with that. That thing could go nuts in a second.
Oh.
So should I do that or should I not do
we'll
that?
see. Well,
Make it a bomb
actually,
threat.
I want you to talk about what you're going to be doing at the Hygienic,
Hygienic?
because
I'm gonna be hosting it. We got a bunch of different locally. Are we allowed to say locally? Because a lot of these people are local.
The fashion show is what Dame is going to be the MC of. So yeah, he can talk a little bit
Yeah,
about the
let us-
designers.
Okay, so FTM is Fudge the Media. That is my friend Denzi and another friend of mine's Alex's brand. They are like a skate team. Like I don't know. That's like kind of like the style right now.
And they're from New London.
Kids like skate. Yeah, they're from London. Denzi's actually like a model and a performing artist as well. He does like rap and a bunch of other stuff, and he helps come up with the designs. And I believe he's actually one of the flyer people in London. Like you've seen him before, even if you've never met him, you've seen him before. That guy skateboards all over the place. And then you have the Hive Skate Shop. They're local purveyor of skateboarding goods in our area.
Yeah.
Like you can go there to get pretty much any of your board.
Now, is it something new to have like skater stuff at the fashion show?
It is, because skate culture is like prevalent now in fashion. That's like a whole thing. Well, I mean, it was really big like 3 years ago. It was nuts. Now it's kind of on the outs, but I believe Denzi's brand is kind of a fresh take on it because authenticity. He actually does skate, and then the Hive Skate Shop again lands on authenticity. These guys know their stuff.
Yeah, they really
So it's
skate.
it's really dope. Sec New York is a friend of mine, Alonzo. His site is insane. If you ever want to check that out,
Describe
secneyork.com.
Zoe's stuff.
It's kind of it has a little bit of a satanic twist to it.
Right.
A lot of his
it's
stuff
like
is
post-apocalyptic.
yeah, a lot of
almost.
his well, I wouldn't say post-apocalyptic. That's like just a kind of a buzzword. It's more of a it's got a lot of anarchy to it. Does that make any sense?
I think I'd have to see it, and then maybe.
It's all like
It-
it's all like kind of satanically influenced stuff. It's more dark.
Yeah, it's the dark side of Southeast Connecticut, I take it.
Okay, there you go. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, Southeast Connecticut
Connecticut.
in New York. There you go. A
Yeah.
little bit of word association.
Okay.
Wow.
Anna Lucas, I'm not as familiar with her brand this year, but last year she was in it, and I think she was amazing.
She's doing a new thing this year. She's
Okay.
bringing a men's line to the fashion show.
That's
for the
crazy.
first
I was thinking
time.
she handpicked all the chicks I heard last year. I don't know if I'm allowed to say
So
chicks or
you
not.
weren't invited to be
but-
a model?
No. I don't want to say I was invited to be a model. I think that I don't fit the criteria to be a model. You have to be accessible. You have to be beautiful, but also accessible. I'm too beautiful.
And maybe not tall enough or something.
That's the accessible part. People don't want to reach down. They don't want to reach down for it.
Yeah, and Anna, Lucas, and Susan Hickman are actually combining their efforts this year, which is also new. So their design line, they've worked together and they've collaborated on, which is I'm really excited to see because they both
I'm really excited to see.
yeah they both have a very elegant, I would say high fashion kind of viewpoint.
The next is probably Riser. That's a newer brand. That's from a girl, Sharia Robinson. She doesn't have like a lot of her name isn't as gaudy as everyone else's name on this, but I think she probably has like the dopest eye for fashion of these people
Where's
on
she
this
from?
list. She's from New London. She's kind of young, but she's been doing her thing for a while. I actually had to message her a bunch of times to even get her to go do this. I was like, can you just go inside this and stuff? Yeah, because she has enormous talent. She's so humble. This has probably been the most anyone's ever even said about her because she lets her work speak for itself. And that's refreshing in this day and age, especially in this industry, letting your work just speak for itself. And I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to let you guys be blown away by it, as I am every time she unveils a line. But she's been doing it for a while. She's really young. She's been doing it for a while. Really excited to see what she has planned for this. Ruba. That's a new name to me. So you want to jump in? Steve, what do you got for Ruba?
It's a new one. It's a new designer on the line.
Okay, so is this going to be the
Seekin and
mysterious
Ruba
one?
Ruba. I'm not
So
sure.
not privy?
really, I don't know.
You're not
That'll
privy?
be a surprise.
No, I guess we have to come
and
for the
Ruba Ruba. If you
surprise.
guys are watching and you want to call in, we'll speakerphone you guys, and you
Yeah.
guys can talk
Wait,
about
Can we do this?
your brand. I think that'd be awesome.
Here, I got
We
you.
can.
Can
Yes.
somebody see that? Can you zoom in?
Happen.
So before we get into the specific, because
Yeah.
for somebody just tuning in, they're gonna have no clue what we're talking about for
Right.
Hygienic. So the gist of Hygienic, so we've been running for 39 years. It started with an art show, which was called the Salon des Independence, based on the salon in Paris, which was basically for outsider artists, the artists who weren't accepted into that mainstream culture. So we had 39 years ago, a bunch of artists who wanted their work to be seen. They wanted it to be accessible. Accessible was a great word you used earlier. And they decided to put it in the diner. People were eating, there were diner booths, so they just went
Right.
in and they stuck it on the walls, and it took on a life of its own and has been attracting more and more artists, and they've had it in different locations, at the L&G, and now it's back in the diner space, even though we're operationally not a diner, although everyone thinks so. I get asked every day if we have hamburgers.
Just yesterday.
Every day.
Really?
Literally yesterday.
To today, an hour
Today?
ago. Somebody
Really?
came in and
That's
they're
great.
like, "Can I get a milkshake?" No.
A malt.
No.
Right. So,
Have to be caught in a time loop.
So the Salon des Independence, this art show, is uncensored. There's no jury, there's no fee, there's no judge. Everyone can bring one piece of artwork. You come in between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and you hang it yourself. and then it's open for public consideration. You can sell it if you want to. You don't have to. And then the public is invited back at 7 p.m. So that art exhibit took a life of its own and has been generating many events that are now spread throughout downtown. And over the course of 2 weeks, we see over 10,000 people throughout all these different events, and they're in different locations. So it's a great thing for the community. It's a great thing from artists, and it's not, I already have been calling inns to see if we can have performers stay there, and they're all booked for this weekend. So people are coming in from Boston, they're coming in from Providence and New York, and it's not known to that level where it's commercial yet. It's still like you have to, if you're not from this area, you have to find out from a friend about it. But then once you are hooked, you're in it forever. And it's a thing no matter how cold it is or if it's snowing or icy. It proves that you're a tough New Englander. So you put on your coat and you get dressed warm and you make sure you've got hot chocolate to drink, and then you come on down. So with this Salon Des Independence, you've got the kickoff on Friday. The Hootenanny is at 33 Golden, and Sherry Stidful does that. And these events, again, they're all free or for suggested donation. You can always give us more than we suggest. We're okay with that too. We love that. Add a zero.
Right,
Just
and
keep
part
adding
of the
zeros.
reason to have you on and actually other, like the local nonprofits on is, like, so people know you can support what's going on locally.
Please call in, support, give us money. If you see us on the street, hug us. We need all the hugs and money.
So basically hugs and money, although I don't like hugs from everybody, Dame. Not all people are welcome to hug.
Yeah.
That's you. They can hug you. You can hug. Yeah,
If you see her, and
ask first.
Yeah. Hug me. I'll pass the hug
I need
on
to
her
sign a
when we're
document
dates.
before people hug me.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be legal.
Cash her and hug me.
So
we'll talk about the screening room a little because that's also on Friday night.
right. So this Saturday in a few days is this big art show that is the impetus for all these events. So Friday night we have the Hootenanny at 33 Golden. Thank you, Craig. And then we have the Screening Room Film Festival, which is at the Crocker House. And it's become, it used to be in the gallery. We used to set up a huge widescreen TV and people would come in, and then it outgrew the gallery space. So now it is right up the street at the Crocker House Ballroom. We set up the big projection
Plenty
screen.
of room there.
And we had a full house, and Astor Place helped make it happen. And basically, again, it's uncensored. People can send in a 5-minute film. The deadline is ticking. I mean, it passed, but I think there's still some wiggle room. Drew Wilson, but
If you're listening, Drew.
Yeah, you can still get your film in, like, probably if you really tried by midnight tonight. So the screening room shows all of these different films, and we have had everything from music videos to more artistic performances, and we've had horror films and comedy, you name it. It's amateur work and professional work. So that range is really fun, and I think all of these events, as Dame, his personality brings out, it kind of encourages us not to take ourselves too seriously. We actually have fun with what we do. So I'm not a filmmaker, but I want to have fun, so I'm going to make a film just for this event. We have people who make paintings or art just for this one event a year, and that's really magical and awesome. And I had a woman call today, and she was nervous and afraid to show her work, and I said, just do it.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic kind of thing. So yeah, that's the Friday, January 26th is both the screening room and the Hootenanny. Those are the two events that kick off these 2 weeks of festivities.
Now, and Saturday, I know there's a Young Artist Expo as well.
Yes.
I actually usually have a table there.
Yay.
Are
Are you doing it this year?
I don't know yet. I have not confirmed.
Okay.
I guess I'm as bad as the people who are still making their 10-minute
art.
videos
Right.
or their art
Right.
like today or
Right.
tomorrow.
That happens. Yeah.
But yeah, there's some great student art. There's Isaac. There are schools that have a lot, and some art teachers that submit a lot from their classrooms, and some of the art is just amazing.
Yeah, the children that have artwork in that show are really creative, and they don't do just artwork. They're also making music, they're dancing, and they're doing hula hooping and Legos,
Yeah.
and it's just a fun thing for the whole
It's
family.
a really fun afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you want this?
Yeah,
well,
thank you.
and I don't know, we're going to be doing a switch at some point, but I wanted to ask you, because you had mentioned your first impression of the naked canvas.
Insane.
So
Just some of
maybe
the
you
arts.
should talk a little bit about the naked canvas.
Maybe I shouldn't, but I will.
You can.
You open that door,
Yeah,
Rana.
it's
You
just-
I
opened it.
know.
It was just amazing. You know what I mean? Because I had already drank like way too many beers to the point where I knew I wasn't gonna see any new boobs on my own accord. Have you ever been there before? At that 6, 7
I
beers in?
haven't, but I can
And then you're
like
like-
experience this
Yeah.
vicariously.
So you're like, okay, I wrecked this Thursday night. It's 7 o'clock. I'm too drunk to get
I'll
it
be
going
at the
downtown.
planning and zoning meeting.
This one comes out with like a handful of cash and was like, oh, you're gonna just host this thing right now. And I was like, I am not. And then I did.
So are you involved with that at all today?
No,
this
I'm not
year,
involved with it this
or,
year.
or the fashion show? is the
I'm
main
just doing the
thing you're
fashion show.
doing?
It's insane that they're even letting me come do that because I remember just making some of the most inappropriate jokes just going into this thing. I didn't think I was going to make it out alive. It was pretty bad.
We did get that checkbox. Was it successful? Did people walk out of the show and we were able to say yes?
Yeah.
People were successfully
Yeah.
shocked by
Yeah.
James' commentary.
And okay, so this is what I wanted to say. Nobody was talking about it though. It was. Could we just kind of bring
Right.
up the fact that there are a tremendous amount of erect nipples in this room right now? That's all I might have
That's
said.
only
Yeah.
you. You have
Yeah, but
6 of them. You're like the cat.
And we're not painted. No paint.
I just gotta say what I see. I don't know. It's so hard. I don't really have a filter in my line of business, so it's like I was already drunk.
You were
I
just
had to-
born that way.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was well developed.
So,
But yeah,
but the Naked Canvas, Alicia Shower and Rosie Rosato coordinate that together. So they have body painting is Rosie's background. So she has her own line, and she also has recognition from Skin Wars. So she has body painting as an art down. Alicia has a tattoo artist background. And then we have a really big tattoo culture here in New London. So Naked Canvas brings out all types of artists, and the body is used as a canvas. And it is fine art when you see it. It's very well done, and everybody is, despite what Dame says, has to be respected as art.
everyone there was insanely respectful. It was a very tasteful event.
Except
I
him.
was going for the low sell. I was playing
Right.
bad
He had
cop.
to balance it out.
If you guys want, you know what I mean? You watch a basketball game, the guy that's like, oh, he just slammed. That's what I'm saying. All right? If you're there for some of that, come on down. If you want to put your pinky in the air every now and again when you're drinking vodka, Sarah's got that self for you. I just know my crowd.
You know, it's really interesting though. For a long time, you couldn't have a tattoo shop in New London. It was
I remember.
yeah for
But you
ye-
weren't allowed to have a tattoo?
You were
No.
not allowed. New London got a really
Wow.
bad reputation, I guess, because of the Navy people who would come to New London and they get tattoos. And I guess maybe in the 60s and 70s, they were trying to get a little more gentrified atmosphere. And there was tattoo shops were not allowed to operate
So
in New London again until about 10 years ago.
Wiley.
Wow.
And
Pretty well.
yeah,
Now we have 4 on Bank
And
Street.
I'll
Just
say
in
almost
like
on
half
top of
a
each
mile.
other,
we
yeah.
probably had 4 within 6 months of when the law was
Wow.
changed.
They're good.
But yeah, I started getting involved somewhat in New London politics in like 2001, 2, 3. And we had friends who said, oh, if you ever, or Bob, when you get on city council, legalize tattoo parlors because,
I can't even believe that's a
yeah,
thing.
it's probably only
Wow.
been about 10 years that it could happen again. And I guess it's finally sunk into some people at least that part of New London's charm is that it's got a gritty side and it just wouldn't work as a gentrified place,
Right.
not as a totally gentrified place.
Hey, they're knocking down those projects, though. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, they are. The people who live in Thames River apartments have gotten vouchers that they can take anywhere, and they've also started getting letters that they have to vacate. I think that will probably become an industrial site because it is like next to the transfer station
Yeah.
near a lot of very commercial places. But I hope that
The dump.
yeah, although there is some upscale stuff going in, I hope we don't lose you know, the cheap small artist lofts and the second
The culture, the
floors
culture.
of downtown buildings. It's, you know, in my opinion, it's good to have some like fancy apartments, but we need to really be able to
where
get
where do you stay? Do you stay in New London? Do you,
I live in New London. I live near the hospital. I've been in New
What's
London.
near the
You live
hospital?
on Montauk?
Off of Ocean.
Got it. I'm
We're
sorry, I
off
live
of
on
Ocean.
Montauk.
Yeah, I live off of Ocean.
Where off Ocean?
Evergreen Avenue.
Evergreen
You know
Avenue.
where
Do you live
the
in New London?
Yeah, I live on Dell Avenue. Okay.
we
Oh,
all live
really
on-
close.
we
I'm on
all-
Evergreen, right on the other side
we
of the
share,
railroad
we
tracks.
share, we share Dunkin' Donuts.
We probably could see each other's places like in winter across the tracks.
We should not though. Don't you look across those tracks, lady.
He doesn't wear pants, that's why.
Right. My vision's not that good that I'd see anything really scary. But yeah, so we're neighbors. And I've
I feel
been
like you
there
underestimated
since
me. Or your vision. I don't know which
20
one.
since 1994. And it's just kind of a fun place. I know the real New Londoners think I'm just a newbie because I
You've
wasn't
only
born
been here for 20 years.
Yeah, I was a
Isn't
grown
that
up
funny?
already when I moved here.
Right. So you're not from New London
I'm
yet?
not from New
Not
London.
yet.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Give it
and,
another 10
Where
years.
are you from?
Yeah, another
Philadelphia.
10 years.
Mount Airy,
Oh,
near
okay.
Germantown.
Germantown, no, that's North Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tight.
North Philly.
It's pretty tight.
So yeah, so before we do our little video and our switch, maybe you, Sarah, can talk a little bit just about how people can get involved, how they can volunteer, or otherwise be supportive of the
So-
Hygienic.
Hygienic.org and Facebook is the best way to access all of our information. You can also call the gallery 860-443-8001. And if you want to volunteer, if you want to participate in any of the events, or if you want to attend any of these events, you can. And it doesn't cost you anything to come. There is a suggested donation. It's only suggested, so pay what you can, help us keep it running. And then as an artist to participate, we just encourage you to be brave and bring your artwork down to the gallery this Saturday. And then just make sure to keep an eye out in the day newspaper and on our website for there's a total of 11 events, and they include the fashion show, which Dame is doing, the Screening Room Film Festival, there's a there's a photography scavenger hunt. So this Saturday, you pick up your packet and you get a list of words, which are just 12 words, and you have 5 days to go out and take photographs of those words. And then your artwork gets displayed at Espressione's gallery across the street. So there's a photo show. Then there's this new black and blue light gallery at the Coral Lab. So they're doing the same, they're mirroring what Hygienic is doing. No censorship, no jury, no fees, same hours, but it's only for neon black light art. They're going to also have a beach party. There will be sand. There might be a lifeguard
I didn't know about the
stand.
sand.
Yeah, that's happening. Oh yeah. And then one of the events that's there's a few events that are at the end that are really, really nice for me because I actually can sit down and not run back and forth to different events. And that's the Mayfly Playfest. And this is the 10th year. It's a 24-hour play. And people think that it's 24 hours long, and it's not. The actors just get their list of words, what they have to use. They write, rehearse, and put it on within 24 hours. And each skit is approximately 10 minutes long. So you don't actually have to watch a play for 24 hours.
No, it's
So
just the
that's-
writers and the actors and the
Right,
directors
and they
who
don't sleep. Right, they basically don't sleep. And this year's theme is pretty cool. And then the final event, which I won't talk much about because Juanita will talk about, is the Poets Cafe. So there's a lot going on, and it doesn't really make sense to talk too much on this show about the dates and the times because you won't remember it unless you have a pen and paper and you're writing it down at home. But you can find out all of this information on the website or on our Facebook page.
And
or by stopping
probably
in.
these are available at
Yep.
the Hygienic.
Yeah,
if
we have
you stop
posters
by.
and we have programs, and we've got the hookup for getting you informed. So, yeah,
Okay, so we're
that's
going to have in a couple minutes, a short video just sort of highlighting past moments. And when we come back, it'll be kind of a different
Yeah.
set of people.
We'll see if you guys can figure out who we replaced and who stuck
It's
around.
kind of, an invasion of the body snatchers, sort of. Well, thank you.
problem.
And
Thank you.
And really, you know, this is the one thing that doesn't get canceled due to weather.
No.
And
Or bad
ever.
ratings.
No, or anything, really. Nothing cancels it, right?
Wait, were you talking about the hygienic thing?
The
Oh, they're talking
hygienic
about this
stuff.
show.
Yeah,
Oh, this
30
show-
I
I
thought you were
it's been going
talking
on
about
for
this
30.
Oh, this show.
show.
No, this show doesn't get canceled much either. But every so often, the weather is so bad that
Right.
Atlantic Broadband
Interesting.
closes their studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Wait, so this is what my money's going to? This is, you guys are living pretty lavish in here, Atlantic Broadbands,
oh
all
yeah,
right?
no,
All these
it's part of
overages.
it's part of the law actually that the
It's
private
part of the law. I'm taking
utility
this pen.
companies have to
I'm
provide
taking this one
public
back.
access, and it's great because you know the
I am the law.
satellite companies they don't provide that. We do put these shows up on YouTube, so even if people are not watching,
And you do this
tonight,
every single
We're
week.
taking all
we
this.
do it 9 months
Those
a
are
year.
Rana's mugs.
No,
We're taking all this stuff. All right.
yeah, you can take mugs of anyone who isn't coming
I'm
back,
just joking.
but I need mine. So yeah, we'll show a video and we'll be back in a minute or two.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh,
Whoa.
welcome back. Yeah, it was a little touch and go there. So welcome back to Thinking Green, and Juanita Austin has joined us to talk about some other parts of the hygienic that we haven't gotten to. So Juanita, how did you get involved in the hygienic and in poetry events in New London?
Sure, yeah. So I'm actually the gallery associate at Hygienic. I've been there for almost 2 years now. So in my role there, I do a lot of the marketing and design work for the gallery, managing the website, and just recently I started taking over the poetry program at Hygienic. So during the fall and spring, we do a monthly poetry program called Arm Your Voice, which I really love. I've been in love with poetry for a long time, involved with it in college. So I wanted to take that over when there was no one else to do it. So that led me to taking over the poetry portion of the Hygienic Festival, which I'm really excited about, the Poets Cafe.
Now, can you tell us what's going to be happening at the Poets Cafe?
Sure. So this year it's a little bit different. So if you've been there before, you'll see some new surprises with this event. So it's going to start off with a cocktail hour and music. So there's going to be appetizers provided by Fat Boys, which we're really excited for. There's going to be a DJ. We have a really great host who's going to be giving away some prizes during the cocktail hour. So it's really encouraging people to, come early. We're expecting it to be packed, good seats, relax a little bit before the main event starts at 8. And we have a featured poet, Chanel Sharp, who's coming down from New York to do a performance for us. And of course, the main event is always the open mic, which we're really excited about. Again, that's uncensored, anything goes. We just want anyone to come down and come up to the mic and show us what they got, whether it's spoken word, whether it's rapping, whether it's singer-songwriter, storytelling, anyone who just wants something to say, we want you to come down and share that with us at the open mic.
Now, what date is that? That's towards the end
That's
of
towards the end. It's the last program of the festival, so that's Friday, February 9th, and that's at Hygienic Galleries.
Now, you mentioned music, but we had talked about Harbor and a little bit about the Rock House, but some of these new bands, I think...
Yes, I need to give them their justice.
Yeah,
They're
I
really
think-
talented.
Because even some of, I haven't heard of some of them, and so I think people who are watching will be interested in knowing what to expect.
Yeah, here, I guess I'll just go down the lineup. So the first band's Driving Route 9. They actually opened the Hyde Harbor season last fall. They're the newest band in the lineup. I think they only formed a couple months ago. They're currently recording their debut album. It's called A Matter of Time. I think they're planning to release that later this year, but it literally just started with a bunch of guys in this open mic down at East Haddam. I think literally off of Route 9, hence the name of their band. Yeah, and they just met each other there, and then they just started this amazing rock folk band. And when they played at Hygienic, they killed it. It was probably the most successful of the shows, despite being the newest band even in the lineup for that. They're just incredibly talented. They have very catchy tunes. There's people dancing and stuff like that. It was a really good night, so they just made perfect sense to have them open the night out. This new band that's, I guarantee you, once people warm up to them a little bit, they're all going to be dancing. It's going to be a great way to start the night out.
And right at the start of the night is a great time too, because that's when there isn't really much else to do. You can't quite get into the art show yet.
Right, so it just seemed like a perfect way to start at the night, and I think they're going to start off on a good foot, and everyone's going to be like, wow, this band's incredible, I can't wait to see the rest of the bands. The Sue Menhart band I'm not as familiar with, but I know they're established, they've been around a bunch. I think
Sue
they're just
Menhart has, actually we just saw Sue Menhart a short time ago playing, I don't remember, it's some local benefit.
Right.
And you know what, we have a phone call. Oh. Hi, thanks for calling. Hello?
Yeah, hi. What's up, Rhonda?
Hi.
Oh no.
Hey, what's up? Me, Dame, the comedian from earlier.
Yes? What about him?
Did you guys look and see if I left a pin there? Blue pin.
Oh my gosh.
Can you guys, it might be
Okay,
under,
that was actually
you know
good.
what?
it might be under the,
Yeah,
Juanita, your hair
well,
looks
there was a
amazing,
pen
too, by the
left
way,
here.
on
It wasn't
camera.
yours. But
No, that was my
we'll
compensation.
check it out at the end
I
of the
didn't
show.
wait, hold on now.
And
hold
I
on,
should
hold
have
on.
known
I didn't come in
better.
with this, but,
That was great, I'm
I
sorry.
wasn't paid.
I'm sorry.
Not paid.
That was actually really
So I was
funny.
going to take the pen.
Yeah,
If you guys could just mail that, that'd be great.
that sounds great to me too.
You guys are doing a great job, though.
Yes,
Keep up the good
thanks
work.
for
Thanks having
calling.
me.
And you'll have to go to the fashion show now to see more of this guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Dang it.
Yes, Dame. Yeah, Sue Menhart band has been around for quite a few years, so a lot of us older people really know
Yeah.
her. She's very good.
I know that Ben Parent's also coordinating this as well. I think that was his choice for one of the bands he selected. So again, I think it's another good way to kind of ease into the night, which leads off to our probably most weird band of the night, which is Fat Astronaut, which
Love them.
they're amazing. They also played at Hyde Harbor. They actually even played last summer. They opened for the Flowers and Cane show that played at
Oh, wow.
Hygienic over the summer. And it's kind of hard to describe their sound. I almost don't want to because, again, you're just going to kind of be like, I don't want to spoil it. But they got a hip hop thing kind of going on. They have electronic elements, looping. It's a really cool sound. And I really don't want to spoil it, but it's definitely going to be the most interesting part of the night, or the most unexpected, I would think, where everyone's gonna be like, oh, this is different.
Wow.
Especially coming off of two, like a folk band and a more of a classic rock kind of band, it's gonna be like, whoa, this is gonna be a little whiplash, but you know, it's
I think that's what's going to make the Rock House really exciting this year. Is like the lineup is so different. There's a little bit of something for everyone to enjoy, and it's going to be
Yeah,
really,
the
really
whole
cool.
kind of whiplash concept just is so hygienic anyway,
Yeah, right.
that's why I love it. Let's say I try to always find different talent, you know, just to spice things up. Even when I'm doing Hyde Harbor, I try to find like all these different bands, and it's fun. It makes it more interesting and more engaging, I like to think.
And for a kind of small part of the country that in some ways is sort of sedate and staid, there's a whole lot of music and art
Oh,
here.
There is, like, ever since I started doing the whole Hyde Harbor thing, I've just been floored by how much local talent there is. Like, all I listen to on my iPod now is just local bands. Like, I've been listening to Pocket Vinyl a bunch recently. They just released a new album. They're actually going to be playing in the spring for Hyde Harbor to open up the season, but I don't need to get into that too much. But they're
Yeah.
a really good band right out of New London. But I'm getting sidetracked. The next band after Fat Astronaut is Fleet, which is probably my personal favorite. They were the last band that also played in Hyde Harbor during the fall, and they're like not a hard rock, I want to say, but again, they're rock. They're definitely rock in their fundamentals, but they have a lot of they're not afraid to like add in new instrumentation, like have special guests. Like even for that show, they're bringing in a keyboardist and Jerome, who's like a really well-known individual in the community. He plays the sax. So they're going to be a 6-piece for that night, which normally they're just a 4-piece. So again, like they're going to even take their normal sound and just kind of spice it up a little bit for the show.
That sounds great. And now there are 2 more bands.
Yep, and they're I guess they're gonna I guess they're kind of the featured act. Again, like an hour set. We got No Mind, again a larger band that's well known, well established. They actually just won a tournament, I think,
Wow.
2 months ago. Some like contest at I think it was at Mohegan Sun. I forget the venue, but again, I'm not as familiar with No Mind, but again, I think they're more of an established rock band. They have a really awesome sound and a really strong following. So you know, I think a lot of people will be satisfied by that. And I don't really think I need to like say anything about Lama Tsunami. Like everyone knows Lama Tsunami. They're ska and they're amazing. So again, I think it's going to be a great way just to cap off the night.
And really, the music runs practically till midnight,
Yeah,
right?
it's up. They're going to start at 11 and they're going to go till midnight, maybe even later. We'll just see where the night takes us, I guess, or how they're feeling. I feel bad. Their drummer, he's also the drummer for Fleet. So so he gets to break the No Mind, you know, he gets a break between that Seb, and then he has to go right back on for Lama Tsunami. So, you know, rest his soul. He's a trooper. He's a good guy. His name's Nate.
Well, we only have a couple more minutes, maybe 2 more minutes. So maybe we can just do a quick talk about, just get people to come and tell them how they can get involved with the Hygienic in other ways as well.
Sure, yeah. So Hygienic is always, we run off of the community and volunteers and your support. That's what makes us what we are. So if you want to get involved, the best way is visit our website or Facebook. Again, that's hygienic.org. Facebook, Hygienic Art. Also, just come down to the gallery. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 7, Saturdays, 11 to 7. I'm usually the one that's there, or Sarah's there.
But
popping
no
in and out.
burgers.
No
We've been told
burgers,
that.
but there's
No
great
milkshakes.
people. Come talk to us, learn about our different volunteer opportunities. We love to have you, and we love seeing new faces.
So I hope we see everyone this weekend and actually for the next couple weeks, because all the activities go on through, I think, February 10th.
Yes.
So come to downtown New London.
That's the spot.
Okay. So, yes, the pen.
The bit is finished.
So,
He did it.
yes, we'll be back next week, but we'll see you out on the streets in New London before that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
thank you
Thank you.
to
No, thank you.
everyone who, to Sarah and Dame and Stephen and Juanita. Thank you to all of you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks.